At a House Ways and Means Committee hearing on July 16th, Congress convened to discuss crypto. Congressman Stephen Horsford of Nevada talked about the importance of crypto to be inclusive to all Americans. He also discussed the plan to lead legislation in the taxation of digital assets and asked Summer Mersinger, CEO of the Blockchain Association, how to go about it.
I plan to lead an effort to address the taxation of cryptocurrencies, and I urge my Republican friends to join me. The American people need to know that we are united to make sure that we get these policies right. We've already seen what happens with partisan-only approaches. Ms. Mersinger, in your testimony, you noted that the gaps in our tax framework forces innovators to make difficult choices on ambiguous interpretations of the law. Can you give us an example of one of these issues innovators face, please?
Thank you for that question. And I think staking is a good place to look at one of those areas where, because of the way that tax treats the staking of assets, because it's taxed at that moment, you have innovators who may hold off and not participate because they don't have the funds to pay for those taxes up front. So it does keep people out of certain functions if they have to pay a tax at the moment of creation versus at disposition of the assets when they would have the funds to pay those taxes.
And what are the risks of inconsistent state-level tax treatment of crypto? And how can federal guidance help harmonize those approaches?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you have a patchwork of regulation, it just means there's more compliance costs for these businesses, and for every dollar that they spend on compliance, that's one less dollar that they're putting back in the business. So this is it's a great example of why we need it's the three-legged stool. We need federal regulation, market structure framework, we need stablecoin legislation, but we also need clarity in the tax treatment of digital assets and to ensure that America is the place for cryptocurrency and this industry to grow.
What are the benefits for both taxpayers and the IRS of treating mining and staking rewards as property, capital assets, rather than immediate income?
So kind of back to that, having the funds to pay the taxes up front when you've created something, you haven't yet disposed of it, so you don't have those funds to pay the taxes. The IRS, because of the way this is also the way you track it, you have to know the moment of the stake and the mining, and that gets to be very burdensome to track that information. And the IRS then has to, they have to keep track of that as well. So it's a burden. These things happen regularly. So to have that level of disclosure and the need of that information and data to the IRS definitely will overwhelm the system. And at the end of the day, we just need some fairness in the tax code. We need to modernize it to make sure that that the digital asset framework and regulations are built on American values.
Thank you. Well, I hope that I can have my colleagues on both sides of the aisle work with us, because without clear tax rules, digital asset users face complex regulations and burdensome IRS reporting. We should all agree that we can work together to streamline that.
For more clips like this, stay tuned to Congress Clips, and thanks for watching.